So here we are, back at Loch Ness, new year, new adventures, and a new bike. Right, so here we are. First trip in the Suzuki van. Oh my god. Oh, I've forgotten how it's like to wait for things to speed up. Oh dear. I think that's in 6th. Oh, right in 50! So, just came away from Mitchell's and I bought the Suzuki Van 125, just really for kind of mucking about on. I do have plans for it. We're going to do something maybe in this summer or next summer regarding smaller capacity machines. So, I basically saw this online, phoned them up and agreed to buy it. Didn't even get a test drive on it, so I've never even ridden one of these before, so this is all new to me. But I've been watching a few reviews online, people who do reviews for a living, and of course every so often they'll go and get 125, and it's one of the things they always say is, you know, you kind of could do having a wee 125 in your life. It's not all about having big bikes and fast bikes, but just have something small and a bit fun. So we're going to do first ride review and see how we get on. It's got a nice big comfy seat. Well, I can feel it vibrating right through me already, so that's going to be fun. If we do this at a big extended run. Oh, a bit wobbly. Of course, 125s are not known for being the most stablest bikes, and it does feel like you could get into a bit of a wobble very easy in this. Yeah, I think it's going to take a few miles to get used to this. So I don't know if it was just that I'm used to having a bigger bike and being a bit more stable. These bikes are meant to be quite stable with the bigger balloon tyres, but of course the other two bikes I'm riding is a Tiger 800 and a Street 665. Oh, we'll drop a gear and see what we get on. Oh, I think we bottled out there. We're doing 55, I think. Yeah, we're doing about 55 there. Probably as fast as I feel I want to go in it. Yeah, I definitely don't think this is a bike that you want to be travelling at high speed for long. Or daily anyway. Maybe as a one-off run. I don't know if it's to do with these big kind of balloon tyres it has. But you do get a bit bouncy when you do hit a bump in the road. As I said, it feels very light. You could just shiggle it about a bit too much, and every bump that you hit seems to want to make it just give it a little wiggle, which is something I'm not used to. So it's got nice big square mirrors, which you can definitely see plenty behind you. Some of the newer ones have got more rounded mirrors. I don't mind having the big square mirrors, to be honest. Oh, here we're going straight. Yeah, that's 5th. Almost touching 60. Almost. Oh, we're going uphill and then we're losing it. We're losing it. Kind of rolled off the throttle there, just out of habit from being the bigger bikes. I don't think I actually really needed to. Oh dear, big dust cloud. Hope it's not going to slow me down. Indicators? I haven't got a wee flashing indicator there. Oh, yep, I'm going this way. Oh, that's full throttle. Just very basic instruments we've got here. We've got a Speedo, which I do always prefer having a rev counter, especially when you're having to drive something right at its limit. You want to know kind of how much on the line you are. Got a wee thing for indicators, just shows you it's flashing, doesn't show you which side it is. Neutral light and a wee fuel light, which would be interesting to see if how that works. how effective it is. We've got a single disc in the front with a drum brake in the back. Any kind of ease off the throttle, you lose so much speed. And I'm so used to any speed that I lose, I can just gain back instantly. But this is obviously not got that type of power, just have to get used to full throttle around this corner. You won't get away with that in the street triple. I wonder what the off-road capabilities are in this. Of course, originally the original vans were like a beach buggy. Well, not beach buggy, a beach bike. Well, I'm not sure they'd want to go along the beach today. Right, I have no idea which way I'm going from here. Yeah, we'll try this way. Oh, lovely bit of tarred road there. You keep thinking there's going to be instant power, but there's not. So it's quite a bit nicer on these more of these back roads. Certainly would do as a wee commuter. If you live just outside of town or city, just wanting to nip in, get for a run round Inverness and see what like it is. Oh, should I have gone that way? Probably. Of course, this is the best thing about this, is nice turning circle. Make a mistake, it's easy to just turn around and get going. There's a lot more vibration going through the seat than I thought there would be. So it's quite narrow, windy roads at this part. But we're just sitting between 30 and 40, and it's quite comfortable just to kind of cruise along at those speeds. You don't want to go much faster on these wee roads anyway. This is fun. Oh, don't overshoot it. Right, where are we? First gear. Here we go. Right, I think if I go up this way, oh, watch that bush. If I go up this way, I can come the way the back round. So you probably can't tell on the GoPro, but this is quite a steep hill. Especially for a wee 125, so it's climbing fine. I think it's in the third gear just now, and what we're doing, oh, we're only doing 30. But then again, you don't, to corners like this, you don't want to be doing much more. Nice view. Quite grubbly here, things spinning about. There we go, go off that dirty butt. Yeah, so far so good. Everything's working as it should. Quite happy with it. I think it'll do the job that it's intended for, what it's been bought for. Look at that, lovely view. As we get past that tree. So we got right down the Beely Firth there with the Keswick Bridge in the distance. We'll just get past this car, thank you very much. Whoa, nice and nimble round it. Reduce speed now. Why? I don't think I need to. That is a bit tight. Oh, but the road's going that way. I know where I am now. I'm heading back towards Beely. I think I'll just go straight down here. This will take me into Beely. Oh, a lovely little bounce there coming over that bridge. Maybe getting used to it, it's not so bad. Oh, bit downhill. Might even reach 60 yet. That has me flat out. I've got just above 50 there. I feel like if I drop it down to 50, I might actually get a bit more out of it. So, first impressions are quite good. As I said before, you do seem to have a bit of a wobble of it if you hit a bump. The bars wobble a bit too easy. There certainly is a bit of lack of top end in it, but as long as you got the wind to your back, you'll be fine. So, first big run out. What do I think of the van? Well, it's not too bad for a 125. Kind of got used to it quite quickly. As I said before, there's a few issues at first when you find it quite wobbly and twitchy, but you soon get used to it. You soon get used to being able to control it, so it wasn't an issue after the first few minutes of riding. Out in the sticks, in the smaller bits of roads where it was a bit windy, where you couldn't do much more than sort of 30-40 miles an hour, it just was brilliant. Nice and smooth. It does get a bit more vibey when it gets above 40, you do notice a vibration. Seat position is nice and neutral. As a lot of people have mentioned in other videos, if you sit, you can sit further back. It's a nice wide seat, but it's not soft as you'd think it is by looking at it. It actually feels quite hard. I think a bit of town riding would be perfect for this type of thing. If you lived just outside town or city and use it to commute back and forth, it would be ideal. Obviously if you had to commute a bigger distance and faster roads, you'd want something a lot bigger. But yeah, apart from that, it's a good looking bike as well. You never really want to have something that you kind of look at and you like the look of. And this goes with this kind of retro styling. I don't know if you can actually see the colour of the tank. It's marked down as red, but I think it's a kind of throwback colour from the Suzuki's of the 70s. I know some of the older ones, it was called a candy lavender. That's not, that candy lavender was very pink looking to me, but this isn't as bad. It's a bit more on the red side, so yeah, it looks great. It's very nice and light to turn around. A lot of people say it's heavy compared to other 125s, and it probably is, but getting stuck and then having to make a tight turn was absolutely no bother. No rev counter, which is always a bit of a bummer. I know the older bikes never really had rev counters. It was just a Speedo, but I just like having it there, like knowing that you're about to, especially when you're trying to use every bit of power that you've got. When it's not like when you've got a big bike and it's on tap, you can just open throttle, blip past somebody. If you're having to really think about what you're going to do, even to just, if you're on a bit of a fast road and it's cyclists and you're having to get past them, it's nice to know that you got that rev counter to see what you're going to do and you're not going to top out. So the lack of that's a bit disappointing, but I suppose it's not really designed for racing and going fast, so it's not needed. It's got a little luggage rack type thing in the back, which is, I think when you see it in person, it's a lot smaller than it looks. I don't know how, I've seen them with top boxes on before, so you can get a top box onto it, but it's not a very big surface to get something on. I've taken my tank bag with me. Obviously the tank bag has a locking mechanism, so I might get a locking mechanism for it and just wrap it down onto that, and then I can just use the tank bag. So I've already got a locking mechanism on the Tiger, so you can just, it's easy then just to swap the tank bag from bike to bike. Otherwise, quite happy. Right, it's back in the bike. Let's take a quick spin down to Loch Ness and see how it handles the This road here, we have actually hit 60. I did go down a hill. 65 almost. Yeah, it's starting to wane off now. Downhill, and we're gaining speed. We're almost at 60. Better as we roll off it a wee bit. You've got to remember this thing's meant to be for cruising along the beach and not for trying to get flat out downhill. I remember coming around these corners on my 100cc bike when I was about 17. Getting a bit caught out, getting a bit fast and not realising exactly how tight that was. Always been careful never to make that same mistake again coming down here. Would it help if the GoPro was up the right way? I'll let you go first. And we're doing a bit of off-roading. But then put the foot down. That's what counts. Yeah. So the idea is to do a North Coast 500 on this. So at the moment we've got a couple of people involved. My dad's going to be coming along. He's got himself a Honda CD175. The original plan was as well to be 125s. I kind of thought he'd maybe be cheating, but he's assured me that the thing's probably got 2 or 3 horsepower less than this thing, so it's we'll let him off with it. I'll let him come along. I was on YouTube watching a couple other YouTubers, T-Pop1, Mr. Fish and Richie Vida, and they did this good video, if you're into that sort of thing, where they went to the Yorkshire Dales with a couple of 125s, and guys that have got big bikes, big touring bikes, used to driving, especially the 2 of them were always doing big reviews for a lot of the manufacturers, and yeah, to see them out on 125s and having an absolute ball made me think, yeah, maybe there's something in it. Maybe you need to go back to having a small capacity machine. And I remember how fun it was to be driving it to the limit and still not actually breaking the speed limit. It's most modern day machines, you can't really push them that much, certainly not on a road like this. I don't even bother taking the street triple up this road anymore, but this thing's just great. Enough braking power that it's going to slow you down, because even though it kind of feels a bit fast, you're nowhere near that. So anyway, yeah, watched that video, stayed around having a good time, so kind of thought we could do it with the North Coast 500. We tried to make it a little bit harder, so we're going to go camping. That's the plan at the moment. Whether that changes or not, I don't know. Might be easier for camping, I don't know. Of course, we've got kind of restrictions, what we can do, what we can't do. Although the restrictions are lifting now, by the time the summer comes, we don't know where we'll be. I don't even know we'll be able to make the video this summer. As I said, my dad's involved. We've got one other friend coming, who's hopefully going to be coming along. He's still in the process of looking for a bike, and yeah, it'll be good fun. So we kind of mapped out where we'll go and how long it should take us, where we're going to stay. So the next thing I want to do now I've got my bike, is to start thinking about how I'm going to store stuff, how I'm going to take stuff with me. So I'm looking to getting a top box for it. Might make it easier for selling as well. It'll be handy once we've done the trip, once passing it on. If somebody's going to buy it, probably more likely for commuting and running around town, then just a top box big enough to put a helmet in is ideal. We're going to have to try and start seeing how we can store things, how we can stack things. I'm also going to need a tent. Got a bit of experience with camping, but it's mainly through festivals. So try to look at what size of tent to take. Found a nice small light tent, but then I've kind of realised that we're gonna possibly, well, we're all going to be booking time off to do this. So means whatever the weather, we're going to have to go for it. I think we're probably going to do it over 3 days. There's a few places we're probably going to stop. There's a few things that I know that's along the North Coast 500s. It'd be nice to not just to try to do it as fast as we can. Hopefully we can make a few stops and pick up a few things that maybe people don't know about that are going out and doing the North Coast 500. So yeah, back to getting the bike sort of ready for it. So we're going to look at getting a tent, and tents I've been looking at. My dad's now decided he's probably just going to camp with me in my tent to save him having to carry anything. So that's some gaming as that's me losing my advantage over his small engine. So between that and a rucksack, of course I've got GoPro gear, so I've got to make sure that I can swap over batteries and all the boring stuff. Hopefully it'll be good fun. And we'll see how we feel about the bike afterwards. So if you've got any comments on the wee trip, I'd love to hear them. Either leave a message on the YouTube channel itself, leave it on Facebook, or even Instagram. Does it sound like a fun idea, or is it the most stupidest thing you've ever heard? Would seeing a video like that inspire you to do something like that? Or even if you're just thinking about getting a motorbike yourself, getting a CVT and learning, are you interested in knowing how this thing rides and keeping an eye on it and seeing how we get on? Because so far what I've found that it's more than capable setting at 50, which is fine. It's not something you want to be travelling the length of Britain sat at that speed, but at the same time, potting around town and back roads like this, just perfect. I'd love to got an older bike, an old 2-stroke 125, but unfortunately they are just horrendously expensive. And all the bikes that I liked when I was younger, the KMX and the DT 125s, and I can't remember what the Honda had. All those bikes have been thrashed, just run into the ground. So there's not many left of what many there are. They're just extortionate. Even a DT 125, early 90s, late 80s, with over 20,000 miles in it, they're still wanting 2.5 to 3 grand. Actually, we'll go down. Yeah, why not? Let's go down this road. So when the coast round corners, it gets so quiet that I'm sure that's cut out of me. I wonder what it'd be like going off-road in this. I don't think anybody would be happy if we started even potting around in the woods. There's a beach bike, so maybe we should find a beach. It is terrifying coming out of junctions. You're so used to just right up through the gears. 1, 2, and that's ya. National speed limit. Usually worry I'm going to go through these corners too fast and not make them. Now I'm kind of worrying that I'm going to turn in too sharp. Anyway, that's all from me, folks. If you can, give us a like and subscribe. Press all the buttons. Just, where they are, down there. Take care. I'll see you next video.